To January's Poetry Tea and Chat. My name is Jess and I'm a librarian at Devises Library. I thought I would show you my prop first of all, that I definitely have a cup of tea that I'm using so that you can see my cup of tea. It is tea, I promise you, and I've got some lovely poems to share with you this afternoon. So firstly, what I was going to do is share with you what I'm reading at the moment on my bedside table. So I don't know what's going on with me at the moment, but I've been doing an awful lot of reading of non-fiction. So a couple of the things that I'm reading at the moment is looking forward in the gardening world. So I'm reading the wonderful Adam Frost's How I Garden, just to get some lovely inspiration for me. But the months to come. It's very, very frosty in my garden at the moment. It's very cold, and so I'm dreaming of all lovely vegetables and things that I'll be able to enjoy in the months to come. I'm behind, as always, with my gardening, I'm sorry to say. So I have potatoes on my windowsill chitting. It's too cold to dig them in. I'm far too cold to put them out yet. And I should already have broad beans growing, but I've not done that yet, but I'll be doing that in the next couple of weeks or so, ready to go out probably in the middle of February, when I can have some lovely broad beans later on in the season. But this has given me lots of hints and tips and things and inspiration, I guess, as to what I can be getting up to in the coming months. The other book that I haven't started yet, but I am very much looking forward to reading, is another non-fiction. It's written by Sean Blithell, who wrote The Diary of a Bookseller, and this is the third book in this Diary of a Bookseller trilogy, called Remainders of the Day. Like I say, I've not started it yet, but I really like his writing. A bookseller and a librarian do have a lot of customers and weird and wonderful people in common, so it's quite nice to read all about it. And of course there is the lovely cat on the front of the cover, so why would I not want to read more about Captain the Cat's adventures? My two cats are fast asleep at the moment. If they do interrupt us, I do apologise, but I'm hoping that they will stay asleep for the next 10 minutes or so. So that's what I'm reading, or will be reading, in the next couple of weeks. I've got the tea. I hope you've got the kettle on and are enjoying a nice cup of tea. Excuse me. I do actually have a librarian cup, so this is my Harry Potter cup if you've not seen it before, and it does say, if you don't get my Harry Potter references, there is something seriously wrong with you. I do apologise. Anyway, on with the poetry. Time for some poetry. We will be looking at some lovely January poems, and inadvertently I've decided to go for a tree theme this time. We've got some Emily Bronte coming up, we've got a little bit of Keats, we've got some Sarah Coleridge, so there's lots and lots to look forward to in the next couple of minutes or so. The first one I'm going to read for you though is by William Morris, and it's simply called Tapestry Trees. Oak. I am the roof tree and the keel, I bridge the seas for woe and weal. Fir. High o'er the lordly oak I stand, and drive him on from land to land. Ash. I heft my brother's iron bane, I shaft the spear and build the wain. Yew. Dark down the windy dale I grow, the father of the fateful bow. Poplar. The war shaft and the milking bowl I make, and keep the hay wain whole. Olive. The king I bless, the lamps I trim, in my warm wave do fishes swim. Apple tree. I bowed my head to Adam's will, the cups of toiling men I fill. Vine. Had a few vines myself. I drew the blood from out the earth, I store the sun for winter mirth. Orange tree. Amidst the greenness of my night, my odorous lamps hung round and bright. Fig tree. I who am little among trees, in honey making mate the bees. Mulberry tree. Love's lack hath dyed my berries red, for love's attire my leaves are shed. Pear tree. High o'er the meadow flowers' hidden feet I bear aloft my burden sweet, and probably my favourite, bay. Look on my leafy boughs, the crown of living song and dead renown. That was Tapestry Trees by William Morris. My next poem is it's from a lovely book about sort of poetry all through the year, and every day you have a different poem. This is actually one that sort of looks towards the year as a whole, I guess, and written by Sarah Coleridge, and it's simply called The Months. January brings the snow, makes our feet and fingers glow. February brings the rain, thaws the frozen lake again. March brings the breezes loud and shrill, stirs the dancing daffodil. April brings the primrose sweet, scatters daisies at our feet. May brings flocks of pretty lambs, skipping by their fleecy dams. June brings tulips, lilies, roses, fills the children's hands with posies. Hot July brings cooling showers, apricots and gillyflowers. August brings the sheaves of corn, then the harvest home is born. Warm September brings the fruit, sportsmen then begin to shoot. Fresh October brings the pheasant, then to gather nuts is pleasant. Dull November brings the blast, then the leaves are whirling fast. Chill December brings the sleet, blazing fire and Christmas treat. That was The Months by Sarah Coleridge, and it mentions the wonderful daffodil, and I must admit there are a few little stumps appearing in my garden of daffodils soon to come. We're going to go to some John Keats next, and we're going to read one of his sonnets, a sonnet called The Human Seasons. I'm just going to take a small slurp of tea first though. 4 seasons fill the measure of the year. There are 4 seasons in the mind of man. He hath his lusty spring, when fancy clear takes all in beauty with easy span. He has his summer, when luxuriously springs honeyed cud of youthful thought he loves to ruminate, and by such dreaming high is nearest unto heaven. Quiet coves his soul has in autumn, when his wings he furleth close, content so to look on mists in idleness, to let fair things pass by unheeded as threshold brook. He has his winter too of pale misfeature, or else he would forego his mortal nature. John Keats and the sonnet The Human Seasons. Our next poem is yet again, we're going to some trees. This is by Joyce Kilmer, and I think I know this poem, but I didn't know it all, so it's quite nice to be able to share it with you and read it in its entirety. I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. I love the idea of having a nest of robins in my hair. That was Joyce Kilmer and Trees. So those of you who didn't know, I certainly didn't, I am one of the people that didn't know or weren't aware, but it was actually St Vincent's Day on Sunday, so happy St Vincent's Day to you, 22nd of January. And there is a certain myth about St Vincent's Day which this anonymous poem will reveal for us. Are we ready? Remember, on St Vincent's Day, that if the sun his beams display, be sure to mark his transient beam, which through the casement sheds a gleam. For 'tis a token bright and clear of prosperous weather for all the year. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm trying desperately to remember what the weather was like on Sunday. It was cold, I can tell you that much. I think it probably was sunny. So I think we'd probably be okay for lovely weather for the rest of the year. Fingers crossed. Our next poem is written by Lord de Tablay, and it's called A Frosty Day. Now, I picked these poems a couple of days ago when it was a frosty day, and I'm quite thankful that it is still frosty, because it was pretty frosty this morning. Grass afield wears silver thatch. Palings are all edged with rime. Frost flower patterned around the latch. nor cloud nor breeze dissolve the clime. When the waves are a solid floor, and the clods are iron bound, and the boughs are a crystalled hoar, and the red leaf nail the ground, when the fieldfare's flight is slow, and a rosy vapour rim, now the sun is small and low, excuse me, belts along the region dim, when the ice crack flies and floors shore to shore with thunder shock, deeper than the evening claws, clearer than the village clock, when the rusty blackbird strips bunch by bunch the coral thorn, and the pale day crescent dips now to heaven a slender horn. That was A Frosty Day by Lord de Table. Now my final poem is one which I'm hoping will look forward to summer's days and warmer days to come, and is written by the wonderful Emily Bronte. Like I say, it will be my last poem. This is called The Bluebell is the Sweetest Flower. Time for some tea. The bluebell is the sweetest flower that waves in summer air. Its blossoms have the mightiest power to soothe my spirit's care. There is a spell in purple heath too wily, sadly dear. The violet has a fragrant breath, but fragrance will not cheer. The trees are bare, the sun is cold, and seldom seen. The heavens have lost their zone of gold, the earth its robe of green. And ice upon the glancing stream hath cast its sombre shade, and distant hills and valleys seem in frozen mist arrayed. The bluebell cannot cheer me now, the heath has lost its bloom, the violets in the glen below that yield no sweet perfume. But though I mourn the heather bell, 'tis better far away to know how fast my tears would swell to see it smile today. And that wood flower that hides so shy beneath the mossy stone, its balmy scent and dewy eye, 'tis not for them I moan. It is the slight and stately stem, the blossoms silvery blue, the buds hid like a sapphire gem in sheaths of emerald hue. 'Tis these that breathe upon my heart a calm and softening spell, that if it makes the teardrop start, has the power to soothe as well. That's Emily Bronte, and The Bluebell is the Sweetest Flower. Well, I hope you've enjoyed January's poetry tea and chat. Sorry, it's not just about the tea. Tea is very nice though. Cheers. Next month we will have it again with Philip on the Salisbury Facebook page, so I look forward to seeing him then. In the meantime, keep warm, keep well, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.